Well, this is not Furball Friday. I'm not sure why Furball Friday is up there. This is Lessons and Learning with Larkin. I am Larkin, Lessons, Learning, and Readings. I will get with Veronica and um, try to fix that. On Monday is Angels in Action. On Wednesday is Lessons, Learning, and Readings with Larkin. And on Friday is Furball Friday. And I've been missing you guys once in a while because I have my parents at my house. I have my dad at my house getting antibiotics. And we have some of our friends that I boarded with that have moved. And so now basically I have to be at the barn every single day. And I am going on 3 hours sleep every other night. So talk about being exhausted. That's okay. Some people get annoyed and they see I'm inconsistent, and I am. I've shared that with you guys right now. I am terribly inconsistent. And as a business coach for women, that's a terrible thing. You don't want to be inconsistent. You lose customers and clients that way. But life happens, my friends, and I just have to be where I am at the moment. So anyway, I apologize for missing all of you, but I'm here as much as I can be at the moment. Okay. It is nonstop caring for my dad and my parents right now, nonstop. So thank you all for joining me today for Lessons, Learning, and Readings. And I'm going to get started as usual, giving everybody a few minutes to set their ambiance. I have my 2 drinks for the day, sugar-free strawberry ginger ale, guys. Look at that. It's so good. And I have my coffee. We are going to do some incense today. And guys, I always take 5 minutes, install, and do this because I'm hoping to train all of you to set yourself up for success whenever you have spiritual sacred time for yourself with your spirit team, whether you're manifesting. I'm a manifesting coach. Whether you're working on your mindset, I'm a mindset mentor. Whether you are having your spiritual prayer time, or you're healing, or you're talking to your spirit team, whatever it is, take that time and leave your garbage outside the door. Take that time and set up your incense. Have that special drink to relax. Have your background music or your chimes or your crystals. Whatever it is, you guys like my little incense holder here, my little elephant my mom got me. So, surround yourself with peaceful things that you love, because when we do readings, it's not just about the reader and spirit, it's about you. When you are, whether you're with me or not, you're connecting with your spirit team and your loved ones, your animal guides all the freaking time. And so when you take that time to step out of your busy life and your mindset, getting a reading, connecting with your spirit team is about receiving, just like all forms of abundance are, just like manifesting is. So you really want to set yourself up for success. Okay. And that's what I'm teaching you to do here in the first 5 minutes. I'm helping you to develop a good habit of setting yourself up for success, even when I'm not around. Okay. Because this is what it takes, guys. When we do readings today, and I'll say hi to everybody in just a second. When we do readings today, and some of you have heard this before, but you cannot hear it enough. You want to be present, because a lot of times spirit will intentionally not choose you because they know that a message is going to come forth for you through the reader better if they go to someone else's question first. Okay, believe it or not. So spirit always knows who is here. They know that you're present even before you show up online. Maybe you watch the replay. They know you're going to watch the replay. So you're never forgotten. You're never left behind, even if it feels that way. If you don't receive a personal reading, or let's say you feel like you're never called on, that's probably a self-fulfilling prophecy. You need to recognize maybe the messages that are coming forth for you, and then you'll begin to attract that energy of spirit guiding that reader to call on you, because spirit's going to know, hey, so-and-so is ready to receive the reading. The messages are coming for you guys 24/7. The question is, are you in the mode to receive it? Okay. All right, let's say hi to everybody. This is so important, guys. This is why this is called lessons, learning, and readings, because you have to be a part of your success in these readings, okay? You are a part of this. Linda, so good to see you. Thanks for saying hi. No, Kawisi, you did not miss spirit guides. Let's see. Yes, your dad did leave you a feather. He says he's left you 3 feathers recently. So yes, he did. And no, so the Meet Your Spirit guides, I moved to the 18th. I was so exhausted. I had gone 48 hours with no sleep. My dad had fallen and hit his head. We were in the emergency room for 10 hours with no food and water. I had to go to the barn the day before. I was completely overwhelmed and exhausted. And that was not have been a good time for me to do Meet Your Spirit guides. So I moved it to the 18th, and I'll be sending you that email. Today's my work from home day. I got someone to cover my shift at the barn. So lucky me. Yay. All right. We're doing some black cherry, guys. This one is so good. Okay. So Linda, go ahead and be specific, please, for me. Guys, I love cold readings, but Spirit is trying to help me offer healing and guidance to more people on these free online readings. So they have suggested that I please ask you guys to be a little bit more specific. Just, maybe something like, what you're looking for with jobs, or something specific for the next, year, somebody's name or birthday, something like that, that just helps the other side and I connect more quickly, and it moves things along for everybody a little faster. Okay, that's all. All right, I'm going to light this incense here. So we have a little black cherry going on. Oh, doesn't want to light. Okay. There we go. Playing with fire here, no kidding. Let's see, Natasha, thank you. Good to see you. Sharon Louise Churchill. My great aunt's name was Louise. I love that. Would love a reading. Okay, sounds good. If you could be a little specific for me, please. See, Kawisi, I got your question. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure I say hi to everyone. Natasha, oh my God, I love your little hearts. Love to know what happened to my friend Jonathan. Okay, I've got you and Kawisi starred. Hello, Carrie. Great to see you. And see a message from my mom. I'm struggling with her passing October 2025. Perfect. Okay. Yes, I can see that you are very close. She is right there. Will your house get fixed, or will I move? Okay. Awesome. Yay. All right. So, also, guys, I just want you to know, if you like these things, and you would like to be a part of my school community, I'm going to put it in the, I am marketing this right now, because spirituality and science mindset are not mutually exclusive. And when you guys come with readings, at least you'll probably notice in my readings that Spirit gives you calls to action. Doesn't just tell you what's going to happen. So Carrie, you'll see in your answer to your reading, readings really are not about telling you what is going to happen. They are about giving you your options, and they're about helping you to make powerful choices. Okay, this is very, very important. It's about making powerful choices and empowering you. My goal is to help empower all of you, to help you reclaim your power. And let me do this here. My phone will not charge. There we go. It's about helping you reclaim your power and connect and remember who you are. So if you would like to learn more about that, if you want to know more about events like Meet Your Spirit Guides, if you want to learn how to manifest, if you want to learn how to have better relationships, and you want to learn the intuitive side of that and the mindset part of that, please join my school community. It's absolutely free. It is brand new, and so it is under construction. I don't have a ton of fancy stuff on it yet. I'm working on it right now, But there is going to be so much stuff in there, guys, that's everything from free to high-end personal coaching. So if you would like to be a part of that free community with like-minded folks, please go ahead and just follow the link I just posted down there, okay? All right, Kawizi, let's start with you here today. And I'm excited to have you join me back and meet your spirit guides again, Kawizi. That's great. Let's see. Does my child I lost back in 2008, does he have a name? I know you told me it was a boy, not Cameron, though. So that's a good question, Kawizi. Let's talk about names for a second. Okay. On the other side, we are very malleable, right? We are formless and nameless. And that sounds really terrifying when I say that here for us, because we are about ego and identity while we're here in this world. But that allows us the freedom to incarnate and experience and exist as whoever and whatever we choose and we like. So I'm actually not getting a name. I think part of that is because the identity here would have been different, and that's not the full identity of that soul, right? Now, our souls do have a resonance energy, that resonance can have a sound, which we could look at as a name. And often our names, that's why often when you see people and you say, well, that person's name really fits them, or that person's name doesn't fit them. Okay. My name, Larkin, for example, I told my mom my name before I came. Like, my mom knew what my name was going to be. Okay. And I have had a very similar name in past lives, syllables, letters, that sort of thing, because of the resonance. But we don't always have, sometimes we come to incarnate and experience in a very different personality that maybe is a counterbalance to our soul's resonance, right? So I'm not getting a name. The name he would have had here would be different than his soul's identity. Here's what I recommend. And then if we want or need to look into this further, maybe even and meet your spirit guides, we can talk to your spirit guides about this and see if there's a name that wants to be given. But here's what I'm being shown right now. And it's a similar instruction that I received to a teenage girl who came to meet your spirit guides last year with her mom. And she really wanted to know one of her spirit guides' names. And I was given a name, and I was asked not to tell, because part of her validation, which is one of the things we do in Meet Your Spirit Guides, part of her validation was to then come back and get the name from me. Now, does that always happen? No. Is it super cool when that kind of thing does happen? Absolutely. It's amazing, even for me. But her guide had a very unusual name. It was a name that we have here, but very rare and unusual. And so her instruction from her spirit guides, both through the guided meditation that I did with her and that came through to me, was to have her journal, and that to journal, and then that she would get that instruction. And she did. She got that instruction. And so what I told her was, I said, message me, go ahead and journal and give it a few days. And then if you don't get his name, you go ahead and message me, then I'll help you along with that. Well, within 24 hours, she messaged me, and she had journaled to her spirit guide, and he gave her the exact same name that he had given me. Okay. Now that's pretty cool. Now, does that always happen? No, because everything is energy. We all have to be aligned for that to happen. I have to be open and receptive. I can't be in my ego. I can't be going, oh, I want to get the right name to impress them, right? I can't be like that. She can't want it too much. She has to be open and trusting. So everything aligned right for her spirit guide to be able to do that. But we as humans want names. They don't so much need it on the other side. So what I would suggest to you is talking to his soul and seeing what happens. And then we can talk more about it on the 18th and see if you've made progress. This is important, guys, because, I believe the validation is more important than just the answer. And let's see if we can get some validation and get an answer to pull through for you, right? We get impatient as humans, but I find that often when things take a little longer like this, that's us getting the validation. And it's so important, guys, for you to build a bond in a relationship with those on the other side and for you to trust that it's real and you have the ability to connect, that we do it this way. Okay. And this is what they suggest. So thank you for your question. I love it. All right. I didn't put your question up on there. Sorry, Kawizi. Natalie, let's put yours up there. I'd love to know what happened to my friend Jonathan. Okay. Let's find out here. Did Jonathan pass, Natasha? There is a gentleman who is in spirit here for you. Just yes or no, please. Did Jonathan pass? I've got you starred, Sharon. Welcome. Oh, you're welcome for clearing. You're welcome, Koizi. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know what they're going to tell me, guys. Hi, Kira Jade. Welcome. Hi, Helen. Hi, Sylvie. I love that name. My favorite ballerina. I was a ballerina. My favorite ballerina is Sylvie Guillaume. Let's see. Natalie Clark. Hi, Natalie. Yes, I remember Koizi. It was a miscarriage. Yep, I do remember that. Okay. Let's see here. Carrie, Natasha. All right, I got you started, Sharon and Carrie. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I just want to make sure that was this gentleman. Guys, it's all vibration. So your yes, no answers help because I want to validate that what they're showing me or what I'm picking up on is correct. Okay. Otherwise I have to go back, have other side conversation with spirit and straighten what's coming through out. Now, Natasha, here's another yes, no question for you. Was this the gentleman who had a shaved head or was bald? It was nice and slim. You're welcome, Sharon. Let me know. Hi, Sylvie. Let's see here. Wait a minute. I want to make sure I'm getting this. Let me know, Natasha, in the comments. Because I'm also seeing either a shaved or a bald head. And I'm seeing Jonathan coming to me very, this energy is very joyful, very healthy, very pleased to see you is the word here. Very pleased to see you and that you ask about him. This gentleman is nice and slender. He's actually wearing he's wearing white right now. He's wearing like a white button-down shirt. Where does the shaved or bald head come in, Natasha? Is that in relation to you? Is that in relation to you? I'm seeing a bright, beautiful smile, bright, joyful eyes, and really a lot of humbled gratitude for asking and inquiring about him. And that is all Jonathan's energy for sure. Thank you, Helen. I'm just wanting to validate some of the details. So I'm asking a side conversation. They're giving me kind of different timelines, Natasha, and I'm trying to find out what the timelines are connected to. Things that I'm seeing are consistent are like 3 weeks and 6 months. These are consistent time frames that are being given to me. And can you verify, was it he that was the shaved head or the balding gentleman? Or is that someone else? Because that is also an image that is being shown to me that is significant. And if that's someone else, then there's someone else here for you too. We need to get into. There's a young lady about his age here, still in spirit. It's like it's an energy close to him. Did Jonathan have a sister, Natasha? Because there's a very close female energy to him, a nurturing, caring energy close to him. And I'm seeing a form of awareness of unwellness. And again, I'm double checking. I'm asking them on the other side. It looks like here in this time frame, in this world, it was about a 6-month period. But I'm definitely seeing like it doesn't feel like balding so much, but it feels like either shaved or he'd lost his head. Yeah, lost his hair, not lost his head. And that comes very clear. And I just want to make sure that that's him. And then I'm really getting this strong female energy about his age that really cared about him. You obviously did. But I'm getting an energy of a female very, very close to him. That feels like a sister energy that's still in this world, that's really, really struggling as well. And it feels like there were a lot of people around him actually that did not get closure. Natasha, from what I'm seeing, forgive me if I'm not looking at the camera, but I'm looking at different things that he's showing me. So as you can see, I'm looking here, I'm looking at him, I'm looking down here, I'm looking at sort of a trail of people and loved ones and family members that it looks like did not get closure. He wants to share, and not just with you, shaved. Okay, yes, that looks right. That's what it looks like. Okay. I'm trying to read the energy that he's sharing in the wording in which he's presenting it. He says he sort of left I'm saying sort of. I don't know that he's trying to say sort of, but he left a trail of lack of closures. And is saying one of the reasons that he's here today, on behalf, obviously, of you, because you shared, but you came asking about him, and he thanks you for that. But he's hoping that in connecting and sharing with you, because he has guidance for this, he feels like he has solution guidance for the lack of closure. He's hoping that in sharing it with you, it's also going to help others, because he says he did leave a long trail of people that wanted closure. So he apologizes for that. But he can also see from the other side that need for closure, it's just a human thing. Now, he's not belittling that, right? He was just a human. He's not belittling that as a human thing. But what he's saying is there's a solution in the mindset to the lack of closure. There's a solution in the mindset to the lack of closure. What does that mean? Let me help you interpret this, okay? Because hopefully this will help you find healing. Number one, he is now attempting to connect with those with whom wanted or needed closure from him and to bring them peace and to help them find it. He says you can find closure without the person or circumstance that you need closure from. I'm going to say that again. This is really important. You can find closure without the person or circumstance that you're needing closure with participating. Does that make sense? I know it's not what the ego says. The ego says the opposite. But it is possible. And I know this from coaching. This is possible. I've done this myself. It's very difficult though. Okay. He's sharing this because he wants you all to know you don't need him in order to have that closure. Okay. You can get it. You can find that peace, that inner peace on your own. So that's one thing. He is saying that he didn't have closure himself. He didn't have closure himself. And I ask inside conversation of what? And he's saying actually on many things. He's saying that he doesn't want you to take this as though he was not being genuine and authentic. He was. He was being genuine and authentic as to who he thought he was, to the best of his ability. But he says he did not have closure himself. In that he said there were many things in his past that left him, he felt, without the closure that he wanted or needed, that he didn't get closure with, and he struggled with that. And he put on, hi, Carlene, that's my mom's name. He put on a front of peace that would have come from closure. But he's showing me there were things from farther in his past, like his much younger years, that he had not had closure on. And that caused a lot of inner turmoil. I'm also seeing now, like, the search for peace. The search for peace. You are asking initially what happened to him. And he's saying the ultimate search for peace. There was not internal peace. He's saying he did not have internal peace. But he's showing me that, and I think, no offense if she listens to this, but I asked about what his sister then, didn't his sister recognize that? And he's saying deep down she knew it, but that's not what she chose to recognize. She didn't choose to acknowledge that. Because she wanted to be able to look up to him and the persona of peace that he tried to exude. People always want to know how their loved ones are doing. And so I'm asking him to share that so you all can have closure and peace in that way. He's well. He is, and he's coming to me with the greatest of peace, Natasha. So he is peacefully working through what he needed to learn. And his work now is to go back and observe ironically, he says, the lack of closure that he left everyone else with. Hold on a moment. The lack of peace that he left everyone else with. And that's part of his lesson now on the other side, is to help those whom he left work through that lack of peace. In doing so, his soul is going to learn what that means. Okay. Um, let's see. He turned up in my hubby's dream. Aha. The next day my hubby heard it. Yeah. So um immediately he saw the dichotomy in this. Immediately he saw he had done to others what he felt, what he had suffered. And so he was on it immediately. And I see that from he's, you know, he's a soul of action here. He is learning quickly. He's embracing these things. And, you know, guys, put a heart in the comment if you all have experienced a friend or a loved one or someone you know coming to a dream within 3 days of their passing. Because within three you kind of have a 3 to 7 day period, but those first 3 days are super strong. Your energy is still super heavy, super slow. It's much easier for you to come through and make an impact and let other people know that you're here, right? Let other people know that you're still really there. And there were people he wanted, you know, immediately he wanted to give them a heads up. He started on this, you know, cleaning up his mess, so to speak, right away. And I love that. I love that about his soul. I love the enthusiasm. I love the embracing of the lessons and you know, the things that he realized. Dreams are very powerful. I would tweak that a little bit and say it was a visitation in his dream, right? Because we have the astral plane visits where we actually go and we meet up with other souls in the astral plane, and then we have where we're still in our dreams and the soul comes and visits us, and it's actually a visitation, not a dream. If it is just a dream, they can weave themselves into our dreams, and our dreams are us learning or processing things. The visitations are more that external influence of something coming in and visiting us, having a soul experience. Okay, just so you're clear about the difference. That's very important. See, that's absolutely amazing. Let's see. Carlene says she saw a cousin by the side, seen a cousin by the side of my bed the evening of his passing before you were told. Yeah, isn't that amazing? And sometimes they do that, guys. I know that my grandfather came, he did a visitation while he was unwell. And he was actually, he couldn't really speak and he was chair bound. But I'd say, I want to say it was about 6 months before his passing. He came and did a big visitation, woke me up from a dream and did a big visitation for that as well. Natasha, I'm not getting a song that he sang. I'm not getting that. So if something comes up to me later, I'll message you. Maybe another reader can bring that through, but I'm not getting that. I'm not getting a song. I find, here's just a little word of guidance for you guys. Hi, Chloe Gregory, welcome. I find that, and maybe this is just me, maybe this makes me a terrible medium, I have no idea. There are times people have asked me exact phrases and words that people have said before they passed. And I was like, wow, this is going to be amazing if this comes through. And boy, it did. It came through exactly. I have numbers, dates, days, names that have come through very accurately. But the majority of the time, I find if someone comes to a reading and they have a specific question that they want to ask, not just me, but the reader, I find that usually fails. And the reason it usually fails is because there is an intention of, and I don't mean to say this to sound nasty, I'm just being honest because I've been curious about this for decades. I've done this my whole life. I find that if it comes naturally from the other side, like if he were to bring up the song to me naturally without you having asked that, I find that I pick it up much easier and I can share it with the person. And I'll say, wow, this is the song coming to my head. I mean, it's phenomenal. You can go back and listen to a lot of my readings and there's just stuff in there. There's no way I would have known that Spirit had me share. But if the person I'm reading for comes and asks something like that, I find that there are a lot of energetic blocks. And I find that because somewhere in there, and this is not an insult to you, Natasha, I think your question's perfectly valid, but I find there is an energetic block in that there is a form of testing and distrust of the validation, unless you get the answer to that specific question. And for some reason, when that happens, the answer or the flow of energy exchange, at least for me, tends to shrivel up and die like a flower. Whereas if the person doesn't have, if they don't come to the reading and say, well, if she can answer this, then it's real, then it usually comes forth on its own, or validation just as strong comes forth on its own. And it blows me away too, because I don't know what I'm going to get until it comes out. I think it's amazing what comes out. But I do find if people come and they'll say, well, if you're really talking to him, what was on her left ear, I find it hardly ever comes. It usually has to come, at least for me, from spirit on the other side. And I've heard famous mediums say the same thing. So I don't know what's up with that, but it's just kind of the flow of energy. But keep asking if you want, or don't keep asking. I would recommend, Natasha, that you speak to him and ask him, but don't ask the reader, and see what happens, because it tends to work better that way. That's why a lot of times I do reverse readings. All right, let's see, guys. Yeah, got it. Good. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I'm not, it doesn't embarrass me. It doesn't bother me. I just know after decades of doing this, that's what tends to happen. And that's what spirit always validates for me. Hi, Roseanne. Welcome. And there's so many other ways to get validation, Natasha. If you hang on to one question, it usually fails. But if you wait and you just let the reader come, like one lady I had here, let me go up to the next reading here. One lady I had a couple years ago, this freaking guy, that I was reading for, he took me through like all of his drawers, and he was trying to validate for his sister that it was him. And we literally went through dozens and dozens of items in drawers that his sister had in little boxes. And he described them to me in detail, and I described them to her. And it blew me away. Like, we were both in tears. But she didn't ask for any of that. He offered it. And that just seems to be the way it flows. Thank you guys for your likes and hearts. It helps more people to find us and get help. All right. Let's see. Linda, are you still there? Linda, let me know if you're still there. You're starting with past. Okay. Yes, you were close. I remember that. I can feel that. Let's see here. Yeah. You are struggling. And she's showing me you're internalizing it. Now let's get some validation as well here. I'm going to show you some random things that she's showing me as she's trying to come through. So it's often like a collage, and we'll put the pieces together. I'm not being shown immediately if it's past, present, future. So I am being shown some really brightly colored, lightly flowing, like cool outfits, and a beach and a lot of sun. And what looks like a warm vacation spot with a beach, wonderful music, beautiful weather, sandy beaches that you guys can walk on with waves. Not sure if it was a cruise or if it was just a beach, but I am seeing like cruise type of shopping and tourism and travel and that sort of thing. And there's also, was she the woman with the just yes or no, sort of like a warm, almost warm brown hair, kind of short, kind of, not short, but it had a lot of like nice body to it, or curl. I would say more on the warmer tones, like more of the redder tones. This energy is present with you and showing up immediately. Okay, Roseanne, thank you. You're welcome, Natasha. Mwah. Thank you for letting me read for you. Okay. I'm seeing, hi, Brenda Lucas. I'm seeing a lot of joy, a lot of laughter, a lot of good food, and some deep conversations. So, Linda, is this a vacation that you took with your mom? Yes or no? She's showing me this in regards to shared time in this world with you. She's showing me a couple of special hats. Hi, Carrie. Welcome. She's showing me photo albums. She's showing me a lot of joy and laughter. Wow, you guys had a lot of you had a very what is the word? Congenial sense of humor with one another. You could understand each other's humor and each other's jokes. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome. Good to see you. Yes, Linda, this makes sense. Okay. All right, because this is what she's showing me. This is what she's wanting you to remember and the energy between the two of you. And she's using this for validation. She's showing me that you guys got something matching that you could wear. So matching bracelets or matching hats. You got something that was matching. And she's wanting you to know she is still her half. She is still her half. Oh, Rebecca, good to see you. She is concerned with how much you are internalizing the pain of her passing. You're internalizing the pain of her passing. Yes, you were like twins. Yes, I see that. There was definitely, and she can share with you why. There was definitely, even though you had a mother-daughter relationship here, there was definitely a relationship of camaraderie, of friendship, of soulmate-ness. Guys, don't think that we just have one soulmate. We don't. You guys are in the same soul family. You're very close. You've been here together in many different ways. You've come many times as sisters or as brothers. And you came to reflect one another, she's showing me as well. She's showing me journals. Yeah, you're struggling very badly. Yeah. Where she sees that, and what she's saying is you're really internalizing it. She wants you to do some expression. And she's showing me all these photo albums. And then she's also showing me old movies. She was your rock. Aww. She's showing me things like from her time, older items that were hers. I'm seeing strength is her real concern for you right now, Linda. You said she was your rock, and I asked her about that. And she said, but now it's time, like in this world, you need to learn to stand in your own power. And that's what this new season is about. Don't think for a minute, Linda, that she's not there. I'm trying to understand how she's explaining this because it sounds a little funny. She says she's constantly knocking on your door. I'm taking that to mean she's constantly trying to get your attention and let you know that she's there. She's constantly trying to be like, hey, come on, step out, let's go. Right? You're trying your best, but here's what you're not doing that she's saying, Linda, because bless your heart, you are trying your best. Here's what she's saying you're not doing. You're not fully accepting. You're trying to find ways around the acceptance. Okay. Hi, Misha. Good day. You're trying to find ways around it. Sharon, I think your message is still up there. I just have to scroll up. The recipe, she said. Give you the recipe. So, acceptance and surrender free you to the next experience. They allow you to move on. She says, you want to know how I became your rock? How I became that strength that now you need to have for yourself. The words she's using is, I didn't fight what already was. I didn't fight what already was. This does not mean that she did not step up to create change where and when necessary. This does not mean she did not speak up for what she believed in. What it means is that the things that she had to accept, she accepted with grace so that she could move on, because what we accept transforms. Linda, she's showing me you just haven't really fully accepted her passing yet. Not emotionally. Not emotionally. She's showing me ashes. Linda, was she cremated? Just yes or no? You're welcome, Sharon. Hi, Charlene. She's showing me ashes. Was she cremated? Just yes or no? I can't move on until I get the social services. Okay. Let's correct that. Okay, let's correct that, Linda, because what she's showing me is, and I see this in what you wrote, okay? You did not? Okay. Well, she's showing me ashes. So whose ashes is she showing me? She's showing me ashes in a square, like a box like this. So think about that and let me know, because she's showing me that. So you say, I can't move on until social services and the care home. I'm on stage 3 of complaint. Okay. So, but here's the thing, Linda, and this is unfortunately part of your challenge. Remember, challenges are opportunities, okay? No matter what the external circumstances seem to be, you can still make a different choice for your internal, okay? When I die, my ashes is going with my mom and dad. Okay. Got it. Okay. Well, I asked her if that's what she was showing me or not, okay? But this is very pertinent, okay? Don't allow external circumstances to dictate your inner peace and ability to move on. It is very, very hard for us as human beings not to allow that. Most people do. Most people say, I can't have closure until this or that, or I can't move on until such and such, or I can't make this and that decision until blah, blah, blah. And one of the things that she wants you to understand is that there are ways in which you can. She's sorry for the external circumstances you're having to deal with, but that does not have to stop you, she's saying, and she's right. That does not have to stop you from emotionally healing and moving forward. Okay. We as humans, we tend to link and connect things together that are going on in our lives with our emotional state and our state of being. And she really does not want you to do that. Okay. Did your mom know she was with you? Yes, absolutely. But hold on one second. And I'll ask her to run me through that passing. Okay. She just wants to make sure this part is really the most pertinent part. And it may not sound like it to you, and to those of you listening, it may not sound very exciting, but this actually is the most pertinent part, to not allow those external circumstances and technicalities. And she says that's really all they are. They're human collective technicalities, and she knows they affect you greatly and they cause a lot of stress and aggravation. But she wants you to know you can still continue to move through the phases of acceptance and move on. And she says it's really, really important energetically that you do that. It's important for your health and well-being. Okay. So that's the first thing. Absolutely. She knew. Absolutely. I'm asking her to show me. So she did what a lot of people do when they're passing. She also had an external bird's eye view of what was going on. Plus, she could feel and sense what was going on around her in the room. And she's actually showing me, this is cool. I love when they do this, how clear and loud it was, right? Compared to like our senses, because her non-physical senses were starting to kick back in. So she was able to sense things in a whole new way. She was able to see through the room, the little tray or table that was there, the bed, the floor. She's showing me there was a woman that was not related, like was not family, that at some point was around or would come in and out. This might not have been right at the time of the passing, but this is what she's showing me from when she observed. So it might have been like a nurse or someone like that. She's showing me that. And she's saying one of the things, and she can feel and hear that, Linda. She can feel and hear that. She wanted you to be with her. So since our souls choose when and how we pass, she wanted to pass while you were present. So she made sure to pass while you were present. Okay, she made that possible. Because a lot of times souls will wait like till someone leaves the room and goes to the bathroom or something, and then they'll take off, right? They don't always want other people there. Very easy, very peaceful. She did feel the depths and levels of your pain and your sorrow. But as she released and moved on from her body, that was just converted into unconditional love and support, is what she was giving you. Unconditional love and support, okay? And she can see and feel and hear you. She was so aware of it, Linda, that she wanted to, and her energy did, hug and hold you back. She wanted to hug and hold you back. And her energy did. Her consciousness actually did. Okay. Even though her body could not. Mm. So she wants to give you this energetic gift as you move on from this reading, Linda. This energetic gift to move on and to move forward. She's saying she just wants you to let go. Ignore whatever else is going on in the physical, legal, aggravating world. Keep your focus on the energy and the love of the two of you. Accept and let go, because what she's showing me is since your relationship has not ended, it is merely transformed. The more you can let go and accept and move on, the closer you're going to be able to establish a relationship with her now that she's back on the other side. Okay, you're going to be able to see and recognize signs better. And you're going to be able to recognize things that are her. And she says she reaches out to you a lot through the words of other people. Things that are being said or spoken, even if you just overhear it as you're passing by a table in a restaurant. She says she speaks through others a lot. So to pick up on those signs. Okay. Linda, I hope this is helpful. I can guarantee, I don't want to guarantee anything. I'm on YouTube. I can't guarantee anything. I'm not going to guarantee anything. But I can tell you that when you let go and when you accept, as Eckhart Tolle says, your mom's guidance to accept will bring you closer to her, because it's going to bring you full circle to the other side. Okay. It's going to bring you full circle to the other side. And you guys will be back together in no time. She is trying very hard to get through to you in the astral plane and in dream visitations. Okay. Oh, I'm glad this helped. Okay, I hope it helped. So just take note when you wake up, see how you feel in the morning. You might feel miss or more, you might feel better. Either way, those are signs that you guys have been together. You are hanging out in the astral plane. She is trying to give you this very guidance and answer your questions. Okay. Here is that school link, guys. This is my Powerful Choices school link. If you want to learn to connect better with the other side and to trust your intuition in practical ways, if you want to be able to use both your intuition and your mindset work to manifest and transform and heal, I'm just getting started. This is new. Hi, Karen, but I'm adding things to it every week. And I put all the reading schedule up there, the Meet Your Spirit Guides event. There's going to be events for relationships, events for changing your money mindset. We combine very down-to-earth, practical, powerful choices and manifesting with spirituality and intuition. So if you like that, this is a like-minded community you can join. There's going to be everything from free stuff to high-end one-on-one coaching in there, okay? So you can go ahead, if you follow that school link, I can approve you and you can enjoy us. I am so glad, Linda, that you found this helpful. Just please know that, let me scroll up here. Let's see. Please know, Linda, that now that we've had this reading, why isn't it? There we go. You're going to be able to connect with her better and sense her better. Okay. This is going to strengthen your connection. And so you should be able to connect with her better and just really follow her advice. Okay. Because she knows. She knows. So follow her advice. All right. All right. I see you, Karen. Let me go up to the next one, starred one here. Huh. Sharon, I don't know. Let's see here. Okay, let's do Roseanne next. Roseanne, are you still there? I'm going to send you with your mom, Linda. Mwah. Please keep me posted on your progress, okay? Because this will get better and you will feel closer to her being on the other side as you start to see how she's really there for you in real ways, okay? So keep me posted. This is a process. This is a process, Linda. It's so hard, but it's a process. And your mom is not going anywhere. Let's see. Roseanne says, see if she's there. I'm going through hell at the moment, trying to stay strong. Would love a bit of guidance. Okay. See Roseanne. Let me know if you're still there, please, Roseanne. Let's see here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay. Yes, you're there. Okay. All right. So you're welcome, Linda. Go ahead and join us on school if you haven't already, because there's going to be tons of like free and low cost stuff there, guys. They're going to help you both with, grief, understanding the other side, following your intuition, and making practical transformational choices in your life. We combine all that. Okay. Hi, Joe Megan. Welcome. Your nephew, Micah. I have a horse named Micah. Awesome. All right. You're there, Roseanne. Awesome. Okay. Let me see here. So, well, Roseanne, like most people, when we're going through a hard time, we tend to think more and get caught up more in our ego. And we tend to not listen so much to our intuition and our higher guidance. And your spirit guides are really cute right now because they're basically like, thank God. Tell her we've been trying to help her. And she's doing the opposite. When we get really stressed and panic, we tend to tense up and tighten up, and we get all caught up in our heads a lot. And then we can't listen to guidance. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll up here to your other messages, Rebecca. Okay, so let me scroll up, Rebecca, and see. All right. I'm reading your messages here. Hold on. They're all in bits. On Monday, there was another incident with a street cat we look after at work. I've been feeding her and caring for her 9.5 years, but yesterday she had to be put down. I'm so upset. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I injured her, but did everything to get her help. After a lot of difficulty trying to catch her, she ended up in an animal refuge. But as she was so wild and aggressive, they didn't want to try to. I understand this. They have so many, they often don't. To save her, and she got put down. I feel so guilty, I can't forgive myself. Okay. I'm so sorry. Her name was Winnie. I called her that and she loved me. Can you try to connect with her, please? Aw. Let's see. Rebecca, is this the wow, you have a lot of animal energy around you, actually. So let's make sure we've got the right one. Is this the one? Was she slender with short hair? Let me know in the comments. Was she slender with short hair? Was this a short-haired cat? Yeah. I want to make sure we've got the right soul here because you got a lot of energy around you. I see. It wouldn't let you write a lot in one. That's okay. I found it. She was chubby but short hair. Okay. There's a very slender, delicately built, short-haired cat female on the other side as well. Let's see. Oh, Roseanne. I was doing you. Oh my God. Okay, let me finish this and I'll get back to you. I told you guys, animals come in and hijack. She really hijacked. Holy crap. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't worry, Roseanne. We'll get to you. Yes, I was doing you. Good job, Winnie. Let's see. A bent ear and a hematoma. Okay. Yeah, there's many. There's a lot of them. 14 cats overall in my life. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot. But don't go away, Roseanne. We'll get you. Hi, Susan. Yeah, plus the strays. Yeah, there's a ton of them around you. But I just want to verify Winnie, and the one that showed up first was a slender female. Looks like she wasn't that old, though. She wasn't as old as the 9.5. With short hair, multiple colors. So I'm sifting through, asking Winnie to come through here. So, what I'm being shown, Rebecca, is it's okay. You didn't mean to push in. It wasn't you. It was a combination of Winnie and it was me. You won't? Okay, Roseanne, that's fine. That's okay. We can see you later. Sorry about that. It's just what happens. Yeah, she totally jumped in and completely wow, I guess this is super important because I'm going where spirit's guiding me. So yeah. Let's separate this out a little bit. Okay, Rebecca, this is really important. Let's separate this out. Guilt is an egoic emotion. Okay, it's the mind and the body. And we have to look at what happens and sort of detach. The egoic mind always wants to place guilt for us. Okay. Thanks, Roseanne. It's not the first time animals have done this. I'm telling you, I get in a totally different mode when I read. It's a different reality. That was a shocker, though. I'll never forget starting off with one person and totally ending in another and not even knowing it. So the guilt part, Rebecca, is actually your responsibility, and it's the mindset part. So the reason I put my school link in here for you guys, it's absolutely free, so I'm not getting anything out of it. The reason I put my school link in here is because this is the type of thing we can work on there. Becoming aware that you're feeling bad about it, and I would too. I totally get it. We always have to keep in mind, and Winnie wants you to understand this, that there's a bigger picture going on. Okay? You are radically responsible for your feelings and choices and your awareness of them. But you can't control everything that goes on around you. As human beings, we often set out with the very best of intentions, which you had for Winnie, okay? We can't know and control what other people are going to be doing. And so we oftentimes end up feeling bad or feeling guilty for things that we should not, because we see the consequences once something is turned into someone else's hands. Okay. I see you, Sharon. So this is really important for you to understand, because when we feel guilty about things, we often it ends up being detrimental to ourselves. Winnie loves you. She still loves you. And what she wants me to share with you is her perspective versus your perspective, so that you understand that your perspective of what happened is not at all her perspective of what happened. Okay. She would come off as unfriendly to humans for many reasons. Things she picked up about them, the amount of fear that she had, and rightfully so. You were a different kind, and she knew that there were two very different types of people. Okay. I personally, I've done decades of animal rescue, and I just as a side note, I don't trust anyone else with animals. No one but me. I don't, period. And the reason is because we can often be swayed or choose things for our own convenience. Humans often mistake their own love or emotions towards an animal for what's important, and don't really see what the animal needs. They'll often feel an emotion and they'll choose what they want or need, and then say that that's for the animal. And they might mean very well, or maybe it's how they were raised or brought up. There are very few people I find that really know how to separate themselves out and make the choice for the animal, right? So I understand that. I mean, I do a lot of rescue. When I choose what cats to keep and which ones to rehome, I don't choose them based on which ones I want or would favor. I choose them based on which ones I think need to stay with me to have the best life. And I place them according to where the cat wants to go and where I think the cat would have the best life or the best chance. Okay. And that's the kind of human being you are. And she knew that and recognized that. Okay. Now this part might be a little hard to understand, but try to separate the goings on of the world and what happens with the bigger spiritual picture here. Okay. Animals, non-human animals, also choose when they come into this world and when they leave. So although the circumstances may not seem as though Winnie had chosen them, please understand that we all have a way out. We all have to have a way out of this world, one way or another. Whether we choose to just wait until we're so old that we can't be here anymore, and that's our choice, or whether we choose to enter into a difficult situation like she did, whereby you were the vehicle of that. Please understand that regardless, she chose the time and the way in which she would cross back to the other side. And it may not have seemed pretty to you, and you played a role in it, and that makes it very painful. But understand that even for cats and dogs, nothing can happen without our soul's permission. So her soul gave permission for that crossing back over. And for cats, they're in multiple dimensions all the time. Okay. So it's sort of like she just kind of stepped out of her heavy physical form and was like, oh, yeah, I'm here. Okay. So the circumstance looks very different. She saw and observed your compassion and your pain, and she and dozens of other cats are completely surrounding you, and they're witnessing the opportunities that you have had for growth and awakening because of them. Obstacles are opportunities. Okay. And when we have them, we have to ask, instead of feeling guilty, you need to ask yourself, what was I supposed to learn from this? what was Winnie giving me the opportunity to learn? And it might have been as simple as, who do you trust with animals, and a new level of awareness and education. Okay, so that you can help other cats that maybe you can help get through difficult situations. Okay, but it's very important that you ask that, because no difficult situation happens for us without there being an opportunity or a necessariness for us to learn. Okay. All right. Let me round this one up here because I got to get back on to Roseanne. I'll get to you, Sharon. Okay, good. This is leading into the next thing she wanted to tell me. Okay. She said she was old and had arthritis. I think her hearing and sight was going, yes. Yes. It was dangerous for her to be living on the street. But I hate that with me, this end up causing her accident. Yes. So this is true. So the next thing that she was going to tell me, actually, it lines up with this, but was that she was going to begin having a really, really difficult time surviving. She was going to end up really struggling. I don't believe that domestic cats should be out anyway. Just for everyone's knowledge, they need to be fixed. Most young male cats, especially the ones that are not fixed, end up with either FIV, which by the way is fine. Please don't put cats down if they have FIV, not the feline leukemia, but it's basically cat HIV. They can live to be 16, 17 years old if they're kept inside and they have regular doctor's appointments and they're kept away from upper respiratory infections. Okay. I get this information from vets. I'm not making this up. I know this from years of rescue. Okay. I learned this from veterinarians. So, but most young male cats end up with that because they end up in fights, right, on the street. The females often end up with it during mating, or if they're being attacked trying to protect their kittens. So it really is not safe. It is not a good idea for your domestic cat to be outside. If you love your cat and it's outside, don't let it be outside, please. I had a cat that would go out and play around in the fence with the dogs in the backyard and then come back in. That's fine, but just please be careful. Owls, coyotes, there are all sorts of things that can, kill and eat the cats, and you just don't want them to go through that. So just don't. They will get used to being inside. They'll adapt. Some of them don't. Some of them, like, some of the outdoor cats that you're dealing with, Rebecca, really, they don't, they're outdoor cats. But what Winnie's showing me is that her life was going to start getting very difficult in about the next 3 to 6 months for her. She was already sore and achy. She's showing me the arthritis that she had. Her back, her legs hurt, her feet hurt. She's showing me she was going to end up with some sort of like lung or chest, upper respiratory type of issues. She wasn't getting the vitamins and minerals that she needed being outside. And so she's showing me that she was actually really going to suffer. Okay. And so it was better for her soul to choose to check out before all of that happened. And that was the next thing she was going to share with me. So that's great. That's great news. Thank you for letting me read for you and for her. You are surrounded by all those critters, and just please know that she loves you. She's actually grateful to you, and she doesn't want you to struggle over this at all. Okay. She does not want you to blame yourself. One way or another, she was going to end up in a similar situation because it was time for her to leave this world. And cats are very comfortable in both worlds. Okay. I have such chills from this, Rebecca. Please know that you are an animal guardian. I get such chills when I say this. I can say this. There's a few of us. I am too. You are an animal guardian. And I will tell you that along with this comes a lot of pain that you absorb, but it comes from love. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to, that's just it. That's exactly it. You can love them, and they don't have to love you the way you want them to. And that's one of the qualities of an animal guardian. Okay. Yeah, you've rescued so many, and they're all there, and they're all going to be greeting you on the other side, and they're all there supporting you. You see, non-human animals, guys, are such a huge part. Here in Spain, oh yes, they're very prevalent there. Non-human animals are such a huge part of our learning and growth. And the collective human egoic mind does not recognize yet their significant contribution in our personal and collective growth and awakening and evolution. And they're such a huge part of it. And it's intentional. Okay. So just whoops, didn't need to hide that. Sorry. Oh, hi Susan. We'll get to yours. Hold on. So yeah. So just just know that as an animal guardian, it is not an easy task because you witness a lot. And it's going to be very important that you accept, surrender, and love, that you learn to communicate and connect with the animals on the level that you do and to listen to them. And that's all you can do, is serve them the best way that you can. You are a vehicle, you are a protective bubble, and everything's not, you're not going to be able to make everything work out the way that your mind thinks it should for them, but you are contributing to them and they know it, and they're there for this reason, an opportunity for you. And they will all be there on the other side, grateful, and they're supporting your energy and what you're doing. Okay. I have a lot more I could teach you and share with you on that. If I were you, I would go ahead and join my school. Some of the free events and real low cost events that I have are about animal connection and communication, and about part of my Awakening Your Intuition program. There's lots of, free and low cost things on there that I'm going to be adding on. So if you want to go ahead and join that community there, you'll find a lot of ways that I can help support you as an animal guardian. Okay. Thank you for letting me read for you. Mwah! Guys, now you see, if you haven't seen me before, why Spirit says, please be specific for Larkin, because she takes so long. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to Roseanne first. So Roseanne, I'm so sorry. Let's see. I think, let me scroll up here. It's interfering with my scrolling now. Hold on. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. I see some of you guys. I've got you guys starred. Sharon, I've got you starred. Oh, Carrie. I see you, Kira. Okay, sorry, Roseanne. I'm looking for yours. I'm looking, Roseanne. I'm looking. There it is. Let's see here. Okay. That's where I lost you. I put you up and then I went over to Rebecca. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. So where I started with this, Roseanne, I'm assuming you're still there. Yes, you're still here. Where I started before the cat hijacked, and I was asking about your perspective and length of time and all that. So I'm going to ask you to step back and sort of take this with a grain of salt, because I started out with your spirit guides, your spirit guides, and then boom, all of a sudden it went to the cat. So first of all, I would recommend that I'm going to put my email in here. I would recommend you come to my free event, Meet Your Spirit Guides, on July 18th at 12 p.m. EDT. That's 5 p.m. BST. And if you just type Spirit Guides and send it to my email, if you want to participate, I think this would be very helpful, because what we started out before I got distracted with the cat was, I hope this worked here, was that your spirit guides have been trying desperately to get your attention And they're saying, like you're describing you as going through hell at the moment. The problem is that hell is a state of our egoic mind. That's what it is. And it's based on our perception. And they have been trying to guide you out and around for a while. But the deeper you got, the less you heard them, the less you were able to respond to them, and the less you were hearing your intuition. And your intuition is the voice of your soul. Okay? Your intuition is the voice of your soul. So it's something that you need to shift from within. And they're showing me, because this is going to take some mind shift and perspective shifts, the situation that you're in and how you're feeling is the result of habits and repetition, of perceptions, of that 95% of your mind I always talk about that you're unaware of, plays a big role in all of this. And so I'm asking, time-wise, what are we looking at here? They don't want you to really struggle much more. And they're showing me, I'm getting a lot of 3s and 6s tonight. Both a 3, I was showing you 3 weeks before, 3 months, and a 6-month time period. And I'm asking them which is which, and is it past or future? So it looks as though you can say yes or no if this doesn't make sense to you, but it looks as though there was a strong, or is a strong, intense, like 3 weeks of suffering. And then they're showing me you can make a total transformation in how you feel and what you're experiencing within 6 months, because there's going to be a process to make some shifts. Yes, you're struggling enough. That's right. And one of the things you need to do to find the shifts and solutions that you're seeking is you need to be still. Okay. Well, somehow they're breaking down the 3 and the 6, the 9 months into 3 and 6. So there's some sort of, they're seeing a shift there, because they showed it to me not as 9, but they showed it to me as 3 and 6. So there's somewhat of a division there. They're seeing an energetic difference. So I'm trying to ask them what that is. If it was the 3 months and now, so their concern is a residual effect and impact on your personality. Because when we struggle and suffer for 6 months or more, it tends to become a part of our personality. Okay. Are you open, Roseanne, to taking radical responsibility for your subconscious mind part and shifts that might take you beyond your comfort zone? Can you just let me know in the comments, yes or no? Because spirit guides tend to share and guide along the same lines that I do in mindset coaching, because you are human right now at this point, and it's the human that causes us to be in that experience of hell, right? And when we want relief, we're often not aware of the big picture. We're not detached enough to make the shifts that we need to. And so in order for me to share some of what they're sharing that would create that transformation, I need to know if you are willing to do that. Yes. Okay. Only out 3 months. Okay. Because they're showing me that separation there. Okay. So they're asking me to share with you our external world is a reflection of our internal world. This is sometimes really hard to believe, but you are human right now. So even though you're asking for a reading, the shifts that need to be happening for you are actually human shifts. They're physiological shifts, and they have to, in order to change your external circumstances, you have to change the internal perception and feeling of your reality first. And for some of this, I'm seeing you're not going to be able to change all of it physically right now, but you can change the meaning that it has for you. Take note of that. They're showing me you can change the meaning that it has for you. Okay. And they're also showing me that that's going to take a process. That's going to be a process. And that within the next 6 months, because it's the feeling better that you're after, they're showing me within those next 6 months that you can make a turnaround and feel better. Okay. Are you confused about what decisions to make? Because what they're showing me is they're showing me your internal reality kind of in a holding pattern. And that either means two things to me when they show me that. It either means that a person is not going out of their comfort zone to make the shifts they need to feel better, or it means they're unaware of those opportunities that are available to them to do that. They're unaware that that's a choice for them to do. Okay. So are you aware, trying to see how they're trying to get me to ask the question? You're damaged and lost. Okay. So let's do something. Let's cover those two words, okay? We can feel damaged and we can feel lost, but we never are. I'm going to say that again because they've been trying to comfort you this way, and so have your angels, by the way. We can feel damaged and we can feel lost, but we never are. Okay. You are truly, in truth, and we got to get some a reality check here. Something your spirit guides try to do, but maybe as a human, I can translate this better for you than they can. You are not the person that you think is damaged or lost. You are a perfect, eternal, electromagnetic consciousness that is temporarily in a physical form in which you are currently unhappy in that situation. Okay? That is the truth of it. Everything is always changing. You can go through phases where you are feeling lost and phases where you are feeling damaged. Yes? Sure, I can be done soon. But that is never a reality in the wholeness of you. Okay? So one of the things they're wanting you to do is you need to drop deeper. You need to get down deeper, Roseanne, past the identity that you think is you, because it is your identity as Roseanne that your soul identifies with right now. Get the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Read one little page or one little segment every day. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Banners, comments. There we go. I'm giving you things I help my coaching clients with, because your spirit guides want you to understand that you have to think bigger than what you're doing right now. You're thinking very small. You are caught up in the identity of your human self and the story that you're telling yourself. Okay. But that story is not your full reality. That story is a perception that your ego gives meaning to the things that have happened and are happening. And life is not happening to you, it is happening from you. And so if you want that reality to shift, you have to change this. Okay? And one of the ways we do that is to disidentify with the personality self. Okay? So that you can have an objective perspective. So okay. I hear you. No matter what the circumstance, no matter what, it is part of your story. It is part of your identity. Okay. And even as a victim, you have to get beyond the identification of victim mentality to be free. You have to make different choices. You have to learn, and hopefully you have therapy for this. Learn to get beyond the choices that you make, that you have made that allowed you to be in a situation like that, right? So your spirit guides have been after you and after you and after you. Again, what they told me a few minutes ago, to get out of your comfort zone. Okay? So getting away from that is so powerful. That's such a powerful choice. There's a lot of healing that has to come with that. But understand, Roseanne, these are phases. Okay? So you have to allow yourself to go through the process and the phases of transforming out of that. Okay? No matter how severe, I would get this book or listen to it on YouTube a little bit at a time. It's going to help you start to get some perspective, because you need to learn to reclaim your power, to re-step back into your power. Okay? Only when you do that will you feel that damaged parts and the lost parts begin to heal, so you can feel whole again. Okay? So here are the tasks from your spirit guides. Okay? You need to be working on the healing part. You need to be putting yourself in places and positions that feel good, that feel safe. And you need to make a habit of that. This will start to change your habits and patterns of what you tolerate and give you a safe space to heal. Okay? Yes, I believe it. I absolutely believe that. So this is going to be a process. This isn't going to go away right away. And one of the things that your guides want you to do is to get all this out in as healthy of a manner as you can. You need to do something physical to burn off. Emotion is the mind and the body. You need to burn off a lot of the mental and emotional pain of that trauma. So maybe you go to yoga, maybe you do Tai Chi, maybe you go for walks every day. Get it out. Allow yourself to cry it out. Express it. This is a huge and first phase of healing. Okay? You need to write and journal. You need to start establishing a new set of standards and boundaries for yourself. And as you do this, you're going to start to feel better, because you're going to start making choices that are empowering for you. Okay? There's going to be several months where you're not going to feel like you're feeling better, because you're going to be going like this. Okay? But, oh, Billy, if you keep at this, it's going to pay off. Okay? It's going to pay off. And you need to trust your intuition and your guides on this. I would, if I were you, join my Meet Your Spirit Guides, email spirit guides on that, because they will give you some more in depth. You can build a closer relationship with them. It sounds to me like it would really behoove you to have them recognize them by your side all the time so they can be a constant support. Okay. Hi, June. That's really, really important. And that really helps a lot of my trauma clients. Okay. Listen to this very closely. The more choices you make that are reclaiming your power, it pulls power back from your abusers back to your center, the faster you're going to heal. And the more you feel better in the present, the better you're going to feel. Okay. So get that journal, start doing what feels good, do something physical and get that energy out. You're going to start changing the frequency and the cells in your brain and your body, because you have to teach yourself that you can create a new reality. Okay. And then I want you to keep me posted. Join me on school if you like. Join the Meet Your Spirit Guides if you like. As much as you can, get involved with a healthy community, people, where you can constantly feel that love and support. Okay. All right, Roseanne, I hope this helps. I have been on almost 2 hours and I'm being, you're welcome. I hope it helps, but please keep me posted and join the community, get involved in these things. I have a lot of clients that I've worked through in these situations, and it is a process. Okay, so just start with what your guides gave me to give you today. Guys, if you have found this useful today, please share, or please like and love. I have some pressure from my family because I've been on almost 2 hours and we have out of town company. So Kawizi and Sharon, and I have so many of you I needed to get to today that I said I would get to. If you guys pop on a Friday during Furball Friday, I will make some time to answer your readings then as well. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you Friday for Furball Friday.